I'm John Lee, St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. Today is, today's March 21st, 2025. And we're just here to network. It's good to see you. Come on in, get started in just a second here. I don't have a lot of announcements. I do want to remind you, which I have been for a while, but of the tax sale. They are coming up in August, and we are having the Missouri tax sale seminar, which was put on by Scott Walterbach on the 20th of June. So make sure you mark your calendars. I'll have some more information on that. I am also going to do a kind of like a seminar too, coming up at some point before then. We're probably going to do that. I'm guessing maybe around the beginning of June. I was going to do that in May, but I think we decided to do that a little bit closer, and we're still looking at doing a bus tour. It just depends on how many people we can get interested in. I know a couple of you guys are already on our list here, and we got to see if it's going to be cost effective, because the buses have not gotten any cheaper, and we just need to see where our destination will be. So I think that's about all I have today. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. I'll get Laurie over there, get you to go ahead and do our disclaimer, and then we can open up. Thanks.
All righty. Good morning and welcome, everyone. I would like to do a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak. Please be mindful of everyone else by muting yourself while others are speaking. You're welcome to put any contact information that you want to share into the chat. We meet here to share deals, look for deals and solutions we have in need with our real estate. We are not your financial advisors, attorney, or accountants. We do not endorse or recommend any specific solutions or contractors here. You're advised to do your own due diligence to your own satisfaction before you invest. The first Friday of each month is Ask the Attorney with Ms. Catherine Davis. Our meetings are typically recorded, so only share what you want others to know.
Thank you, Laura. All right, let's see here. All right, does anybody have anything they want to start us off with today? Anybody looking for something to buy or to sell? I guess we can always start there. Anybody got anything they're working on today? I see Stacy's back up there with us, smiling there. She looks like she's more settled in her new place.
Yeah, a little bit. I was actually just going to say I'll start and, talk about myself and Soto, and I still have that loft for sale too. So, hey everyone, Stacy Lowe. I'm with Soto Property Solutions. Dave Soto there is my broker. I am a licensed realtor in the state of Missouri. Our company, Soto Property Solution, primarily focuses on property management. So if anybody is needing some help with their rentals or investment properties, we'd love to help you. We do everything from start to finish. You just get to sit back. Sit back and collect the direct deposit we send every month. We handle everything. Tenants don't have any contact with you, either through the vendors. So we handle all the headache of having investment properties. So give me a call if you're interested in hearing more about our services. My number is 636-305-3380. I am extension 311. And my email is Stacy, STACY, at sotops.com, SOTOPS.com. I'll put that all in the chat too. I also have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath loft for sale downtown St. Louis. It comes with a parking spot, which is pretty big for downtown. It's listed right under 160. It's a great little spot in a nice building. Like I said, secure garage parking, extra storage space, rooftop pool that has grills, and a little splash pool. So it's a really great building. They do allow rentals in the building as well. I think nothing less than 6 months, so no short-term or Airbnb, but you can rent it out long-term to long-term tenants. So contact me if you're interested in that. It's in Lucas Lofts Unit 708. I'll put a link in the chat as well to that listing. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. What was that address again on that loft?
The building is so confused. The building has 3 different addresses. So when you Google it says it's not for sale, but it is. So there's 1114 Lucas Avenue, 1123 Washington Avenue, and then I think it's like 1113 Lucas or Washington. It's kind of confusing. It's right above the Flamingo Bowl though. So if you get on Zillow and search by the map, you'll be able to find it. But I'll put the link in there. Lucas Lofts, Unit 708.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know GPS can be confusing sometimes on some of those addresses too.
Yeah, the tax records say one thing, but then if you go to the MLS and search it by the map, it'll tell you a different address. It's Washington and Lucas. The entrance is on Lucas, but the building's on Washington. It's all confusing.
Okay, so
It's downtown for you.
The best thing is to get a hold of you, Stacy, it sounds like.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Or again, I'm going to put the link in the chat. So you can click on that and get there too. But yeah, call me if you want to set up a showing. It's a great little spot. Okay.
What's your contact phone number again, real quick?
636-305-3380. And I'm extension 311.
311.
That's my work line, but it'll go straight to my cell phone.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're going to put a link for the property in there also, you said? Okay, yep. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Stacy.
Absolutely.
Good opportunity for someone, and they do offer or allow rentals, which is always something you want to know when you go to buy a property, at least as an investor. I know even sometimes people that have intentions of living in properties, their life situations change, and then down the road, you may need to have a rental. So just it's always good to know. All right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share with us today?
Hi, I do. This is actually my first time joining the group.
Sure, Victoria.
My name is Victoria. It's nice to meet everyone. I am a professional interior designer, and I have turned into a real estate investor. I used to have my own design firm, and now that I'm back in St. Louis, I started flipping. So I've done a couple of flips here in St. Louis. I primarily like doing historic homes, mid-century modern homes. I really love saving the historic elements in the homes and keeping the character. One thing that I do offer for investors specifically is that I have really great quality, inexpensive cabinet lines that I have sourced from Chicago. For some reason, pricing in Chicago is way better than here. So I have brought that here to provide for investors. So if you are in need of kitchen cabinets, I have pretty much every door style color available. They can ship within 2 weeks or less. They're also, you can get flat pack, so ready to assemble, or you can get assembled. I also offer investor packages, interior design investor packages. So if you need, for example, a kitchen designed, you could come to me for a few $100s. I can give you all of the elements in the kitchen pre-designed by me. And then you just take the links and you order them yourself. So these are things that you can get from Home Depot, Amazon, Wayfair. They're easily accessible to anyone. So it could be, if you're in St. Louis or anywhere in the country, this could be available to you. I do offer walkthroughs for homeowners. So if you're a real estate agent, I can walk with your clients if they're having trouble deciding on a property. I can advise on what walls to take down, where you can add a bedroom, all of that stuff. So I offer a lot of services. My website is inspiredhouserenos.com. So INSPIREDHOUSERENOS.com. You could also email me at victoria@inspiredhouserenos.com. And I invite you all to check out my website. I'm still working on it, but you will be able to see a couple of the flips that I've done and get an idea of the quality of my work. Everything I do is on a budget. So even though I'm an interior designer, I am sourcing everything super inexpensive. So feel free to reach out, and I can also add my information to the chat box.
Thank you, Victoria. And if you don't mind mentioning your contact information verbally also for people watching the replay, that would be
Oh,
very helpful.
sure. Yeah, Victoria. So VICTORIA at inspiredhouserenos.com. And I can give you my cell phone number as well. That's 314-283-4730. And please feel free to call or text with any questions or email me, even if you're just not sure. I'm happy to chat with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Victoria. That's some well-needed things when you need it. I know that. So interesting that you're getting cabinets from Chicago.
Yeah, when I started doing my flips, I wasn't able to find, like, for example, my first flip, I was looking for black cabinets and I could not find them anywhere in St. Louis. And then I did find them and they were super expensive. So yeah, I'm bringing them from Chicago and providing them to you guys as well to help you save some money.
That's great. And you say you work in the St. Louis area. Is there, what area do you focus in? Is there any areas that you do not go in, anything too far? Or just
Yeah, and so I am also looking for my next flip. So if there's any wholesalers in the group or real estate agents, I'd be happy to talk to you. Like I said, I do like doing historical homes. So, I'll go into the Benton Park neighborhoods, Shaw, Fox Park. I'm still refamiliarizing myself with all the neighborhoods since being in Chicago. But yeah, I tend to stay on the south side and then along 55 corridor, Webster Groves, Kirkwood. I did a flip in Crestwood. But if there's a deal, I don't go into the North County areas because that's a little too far for me. I'm in Imperial. So if I'm going to be at the job site every day, I don't want to have to drive an hour. So yeah.
okay, excellent. Thank you very much. So is there any certain kind of rehabs that you're actually looking for? Are you looking for something that's a total rehab, just something that's light, maybe something that only needs cabinets? I don't know. What
So, I typically am trying to find only cosmetic rehab. So if there's a house that's stuck in the 70s or 60s or 70s that hasn't been touched, I would absolutely love to take that on. Both of my flips have actually required quite a bit of work. But I do try to focus on cosmetic only at the moment, but I'd like to get multiple going. So it just really depends on, the property, the area, and, I stick to at least a 3-bedroom, 1 or 2 bath around the 1,200 square foot range. And then, the price, can vary based on the area.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you. And I encourage you to come back and just mention that maybe every week because you have different people tune in every week. You never know where you're going to get your next deal.
Thanks so much.
But thank you for bringing all that with us here, and we appreciate that. And if you don't mind putting your contact information also in the chat, Victoria, that helps for anybody like me that needs to write it down and get it correct.
Will do. Thank you.
Appreciate that. All right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share today? Anything you're working on? Anything you want to buy or sell? We got Stacy. It looks like she put her loft in there. So thank you for that. Yep. Uh-oh, my wife Laura loves your loft there, Stacy. So don't encourage her to move back.
It's a very cute space, and the stager did amazing as well. So
Oh, nice. Yeah, staging can make all the difference. I know some people say it doesn't, but I don't know. I tend to think it does matter.
It's really cool.
thanks. It is. I've actually I knew this so with a different company that I did property management for, I moved some tenants that I knew, kind of acquaintances, moved them in as tenants. Well, one girl lived there for like 8 years and she moved out and she bought a house through me. And then the owners ended up putting the loft up for sale through me too. So I've been tied to this property for going on 10 years now.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
If I
it's
wanted
a
to live
great
in the
little
city,
space.
that'd be.
That'd be the one, yeah. And it's close to, you can walk to the Cardinals games or the Blues games or Battlehawks, and there's a Fields Foods a couple blocks away. It's a great little location and spot.
And didn't you say that was what, 1,200 square foot too, or maybe it was more than
Right. Yeah, I think it's right under 1131.
1131? Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
you got a good size too.
Yeah.
So yeah, very nice. Yeah, for somebody that would like city living, that's ideal. That location is just perfect.
It is. And it's affordable too. I mean, for a 2-bedroom, that's hard to find under 200,000.
Yeah.
So
You can't find much under 200,000 anymore. I was just looking, in fact, I just got let me see if I could share that today. I just got let me find it here.
I love the
Report. You guys, I'm sure you already know this from being realtors there too, but the February US housing sales, they were let's see, existing homes rose 4.2% in February. And the estimate, I think, is 3.2. And then the medium home price now is $398,400, which is up 3.8% from a year ago. So it's still the highest February we've ever had as far as median prices go. And I know you don't get much for 200,000 anymore, so that loft sounds like a pretty good bargain.
Oh.
Okay. Anybody else have anything for us today?
John, I don't have anything, but you mentioned the buses or the tour, the tax tour. Where do you sign up for that?
I tell you what, just send me an email saying that you're interested, Yolanda, and I'll get you on the list. That's something we'll be putting together probably in the next few weeks. We just need to get a few more people to see if we're going to do it with the bus. I did talk to one of my small groups this morning, and they were talking about maybe just driving. I know we've done that before, but we'll just see what we get together and how much interest we have. But if you just send me an email to request that, Yolanda.
Okay,
And that'll be, I'll put it in here, but that would be ams826@yahoo.com.
all right, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. And anybody else have anything they'd like to share with us today?
I have one more question, sorry.
Sure.
Any updates on Catherine? I have a question for her, that's why I keep looking for her.
Yes.
When is she coming back, do you know?
We will expect her again on the first Friday of the month. And if she's not going to be able to make it, I should know ahead of time
All right,
for that. If it's something that can't wait, Yolanda, I can give you her phone number if you'd like to get in touch with her.
no, because you said she's out of town, right? So,
She's been in and out of
Okay.
town. I'm not sure what her status is right now. I mean, you can always send her, give her a voicemail or send her an email. And then
I can wait,
Okay,
thank you.
sure. Great, and I've got I'll put my email address in there so you can send me an email also, Linda, to get you on
Okay.
that list. And
Thank
then
you,
I'll have
John.
more information coming out about that.
All right,
Are you signed up for the tax sale seminar on the 20th of June?
no, I'm not,
Let me get that link anyway for you. Let's see.
yeah, thank you.
Because that's something you'll want to do. And I'm going to have like I said, seminar ahead of time to get you more in line for what's going on, just so you're prepared for this. This is on June 20th. There's a link in there. And you
Okay.
can poke around in there and look at more of this stuff. They've got some of the speakers already lined up. And then there's a few more he's working on. But I highly recommend this. This is a great place to find out about the tax sale seminars in Missouri. They get a little confusing. That's one reason I'm going to have a pre-seminar seminar, I guess is what I like to call it. We're going to do it online and do like we did last year, just so you're a little bit familiar with what's going on. Then on June 17th, Dale Sweet, who's an attorney, a tax sales specialist right here in the St. Louis area. He will be coming to the St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association on the 17th. So just keep that in mind. Watch your inboxes, and also anytime you want to know more, as soon as it's available, it will be on STLREIA.com. But you can always ask me about it. I got my email in there at ams826@yahoo. You can get a hold of me anytime, and I'll get back with you as quick as I can. That's probably the quickest one to look at for me. So
All right, thank you.
anyway, so look forward to seeing you then. I would definitely mark your calendars, and that does include lunch. I'm really surprised that Scott didn't raise the cost this year, because it's only $75 for investors like us. And for attorneys, it's only $150, and that includes the CLE credits, which are their continuing education credits. So if you are an attorney, if you know any, also one of the collectors who will be there, is one in our area, is Michelle McBride. She's from St. Charles County, and she's a great speaker too, which is really, last year was the first time I've ever met her in person, even though I paid her a lot of money over the years. But she's very nice, very knowledgeable, and it's nice to put some faces on with some names. And that's what you're able to do at the tax sale seminar. So you get to meet a lot of the government employees from around the state, and a lot of the attorneys that help with quiet titles and all the stuff that we need to get our tax sale property straightened out. So this is just really good information, and I highly encourage you to do that. Plus, if you like us, you can take the $75 off on your taxes, because it's a business expense. It's a professional.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I renewed my membership with STLREIA, and I forgot to add that to my tax deductions.
Yes, always add everything you possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you got to check. Every individual is different, and you'll have to check with your own CPA or your own advisor. But we just personally do just about everything through business, and it's legitimate, because everything we do is with business. So. But that's something a lot of people forget, that kind of stuff. Professional services.
I did.
Don't forget them though. They're important. All right, so I got that link in there too, and you can poke around on there too. That's the registration link, but you can get up there on the left at the top. I think there's a little square, and then that opens it up for the rest of the speakers and some of the other stuff too. So that should get you a little bit more information. And of course, we'll have more coming up in the next couple of months.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else got anything today?
I was just curious. I sent in my registration for, I signed up already, but they haven't sent me a bill yet. And I know that's something I should take up with them, but I'm just curious, like if they wait a while if you register early.
That's the second time I've heard that this morning or today already. And I don't know. I don't get a list of everybody on there. I do talk to Scott though, and I'll find out about that. I know last year, and I might have mentioned this before, that Laura and I we signed up to go in person. It was in Gladstone out by Kansas City last year, and they said it was full. He said he'd get back, and he never did. And then when I finally asked him a couple of times, because Catherine Davis, she was one of the speakers last year, and he just said that he hadn't had time to get back with us, which I thought was crazy, because I think a lot of people miss out on it. So I'll be in touch with him about that. But he did also open it up last year, because some of the people that were going to go in person, and they have a limited amount of space, just like we do here in St. Louis, they had a limited amount of space and it was full, but then they opened up because some of the people couldn't go. And so we were able to go. And I know in person for me is better than, than tuning on, and virtually, which is still good, but 8 hours is just a long time for me to be on a Zoom call. I've done it before. I think it was a little easier a couple of years ago when we weren't going anywhere, but right now I have a tough time with it. But it's still well worthwhile. Plus you'll get the recordings too, which I know we all love the recordings, but most of us don't watch them either. So unless they're live, but I will ask Scott about that, Renee, and let's see what's what's going on. Because you're the second person to ask me about that today. I know David this morning in one of our other groups, he said he signed up back in January when I didn't even know he had the registration available, but he snuck in there early. And he was saying that he did the same thing. He asked Scott about it. He said he'd get back with him. So we'll find out about that though, because I want to make sure you guys all get your spot. But I've got you on my list anyway, Renee. So if nothing else, we're gonna keep you up there towards the top.
Thank
So,
you. I appreciate that.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, this will be really good. I'm really looking forward to this. We've got some new speakers this year. There's some new, it's a little bit different than it was last year. And this is the fourth one. And I'm really excited that he's coming to St. Louis. Not that I wouldn't go to Kansas City, because I'll tell you what, it was well worth it. Plus, Linda, that's another tax deductible trip. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, like I have to buy a plane ticket and set up hotel and all of that. So, if they got back to me a month from now and we're like, sorry, we're full.
Right.
I wouldn't be very happy about that.
Well, I don't blame you. Yeah, the way things have changed too, it seems like the hotels you can always cancel and it's not a big deal, but the planes, it's a whole different story these days. Yeah, used to be I could cancel my plane trip a week or two ahead of time. And nowadays, I did it like a year and a half ago, we canceled one and I still had to pay for it. I didn't get my money back. So I wasn't too happy about that, because nowadays they have it's just like your bags. You used to get your bags included, and now you got to pay for your bag ahead of time and all that kind of stuff. So you just need to know the rules now. And I'll find out about that from Scott though. Renee, we'll see about that, because we definitely want you to be here, because it's really good. I know we can do a lot of the stuff virtually, but it's really good rubbing shoulders with the people that are the deal makers, really, because that's what's going on here. So.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sure. All right. What else do we have today? Anybody else got anything they'd like to share with us? I see Victoria's got her information in there. Thank you. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh. Hey. Going up here in the end of the first quarter of the year. So I'm guessing everybody has 25% of their goals all done for the year so far, or at least close. I know we're all working on them, right? Diligently.
John, I know we had talked about a list of contractors, et cetera, even a couple of years ago for the group. Did anybody ever make one out? I think I'd asked about siding, but nobody ever got back to me. So I've been using the wholesale siding company that Jim Heiserer suggested, and they gave me some references. Only trouble is, out of three, I only got one that seemed to be worthwhile. But I'm also looking for somebody to do a garage door and decking and maybe some other stuff interior. I don't know if anybody has a GC or somebody who does individual groupings in that area that they would recommend. So I guess we're all of us are actually looking for recommended contractors on any of the stuff we need done. But I just figured I'd ask that again.
Yeah, that's a great question, Bruce. Yeah, we did try to put a resource guide together. I've got a handful. Most people don't want their information given out, I guess. We did have a handful of people that did it, so we just didn't go any further with it. That's why we've gotten more people, I think, come here on Fridays and gotten recommendations. So the best thing to do, I could recommend for you, Bruce, just come here and give out your information and what you're looking for. And in fact, yeah, I see you put that in the chat. If you want to go ahead and couple of things that I usually like to maybe say that you mentioned is just what is the job you're doing, like you said that, and what part of town is it in? And and is it a rental property? Are you looking to do something retail? I mean, there's a couple of details that some of the contractors would want to know, because a lot of times you'll put more into something retail than you will maybe a rental property, just depending on what scale you're looking at for yourself. So if you want to go ahead and just verbally also tell us your contact information, Bruce, and where the property is. That's all.
Yeah, right now I'm looking for my own home here in South County. And my wife wants to redo the bathroom, which has needed it for a long time, and also the maybe get some ideas on the deck, and garage door needs either just fixing or replacing too. I guess I'm still looking for maybe a second and third siding contractor for bids. I think I've got one from a year ago, which may still be good, and a new one just where the guy came out Thursday, I think. So I guess I was looking for at least a third one, since that's what most people say, get at least 3 bids to find out what's going on, and get some sort of generalization as to that. Unfortunately, I don't do the shotgun thing where I call 10 people, which is probably what a better idea. I call 1 or 2 people and then they don't call back, or the same thing that other people have had problems with, or their insurance doesn't work out, or something else goes on, or they come and they don't call back, or they don't send a bid over. So that's pretty crazy to think that people are in business but don't call you back, or don't send bids out. But that's maybe I'm just lucky. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's more common than not uncommon these days, Bruce, is people not calling you back. And I think a lot of times with the contractors, it's not that they're not good people. They just get busy, and busy ones, I mean, you always want to be with a busy one, but then again, if they don't call you back, how do you how do you get anything done? So that's always a good question. Yeah, we tried putting a resource guide together, and I've still got some of that. I'll go back and look. I don't think I have exactly what you're looking for. And certain people do only deal with certain areas. That's one reason I always like to ask, what area are you looking at? So even when buying homes and things like that, but especially with contractors and service, you want to know, because certain people only deal with certain areas, which makes sense. So anybody have anything else, anything they'd like to share with Bruce there, as far as any contractors they may have, or anybody they'd like to share there?
Hi, I actually have one. Bruce, I am actually in the process of getting some estimates because I had some damage from the tornadoes. JS Exteriors is someone that I had contacted for one of my other flips. They do primarily exterior roofing and siding, but they have people for everything. So Eric Chadbourne is one of the project managers for JS Exteriors. His number is 314-603-7882. They're really easy to work with. They came out very quickly. They responded to my message right away. You can tell him that I sent you. I'm currently in contact with him right now, so he'll know who you're talking about. But I would definitely reach out to him to see if he can help you.
Thank you, Victoria. Very helpful. It's
Thanks, Victoria.
JS Exteriors for roofing and siding. And what'd you say, Eric Chadbourne?
Yeah, Eric Chadbourne, Chadbourne.
Okay.
He's the project manager. And again, it's 314-603-7882. And Bruce, if you need help with your bathroom, give me a call.
And kitchen cabinets, I believe.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Always good to share stuff there. And all right. Anybody else got anything today? Got some good conversations going here. A couple of good referrals.
John, do you know anything about the? I had to jump off the Zoom for our call, but did you say anything about the RootCon coming up there in St. Louis? The
About
real
the
estate,
what?
the RootCon, it's Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Really?
Uh-oh.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Dave Randolph has been pushing it because I think he's part of it.
Oh, is that the one he's got? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I was hoping somebody from this St. Louis REIA could go there and help me find a hard money person who would would be willing to take their money into Central Illinois.
Did you happen to catch the REIA meeting the other night, Ryan?
I'm only here on Fridays.
Okay, because the main event on Tuesdays, with the health clinic was Rob Fishbein. He's one of the vendors. They do a really wide variety of money, everything from what's almost like hard money up to institutional money. And let me get you his phone number because he's a good one to run stuff by. But he did I don't have the recordings anymore because I'm not doing that at the actual meeting. Or I would give you a link to it, but it should be in the members section. Are you a member of the REIA, Ryan?
That's a good question. I just show up here. I don't know if no, I don't think, well,
Okay, well,
is it free? Because I don't mind
it's not the STLREIA. It's
Okay.
like $97 a year, but go to STLREIA.com. And if you are a member, you can find out by there. Look in the members section and the recording link will be there. But I'll get you Rob's phone number in the meantime. Because he's a good one to talk to and run stuff by. Now, today is not the day to call him though, because he's Orthodox Jewish and he will not answer the phone call till Sunday.
I appreciate that.
Okay, but I'll get that for you anyway. And he's really a good guy to run stuff by, even just scenarios. What I like about Rob, and I've known him for several years now, what I like about him is you can run the scenarios by, and he's got such a good knowledge base that he can say, oh, it'll fit over here. It won't fit here. You need to do this here. And I've even seen him say sometimes, you know what, that don't sound like a good deal at all. And you probably ought to avoid that. I've seen him save several people headaches over the years by that kind of stuff. So that's just something, he'll be totally honest with you. And he's just a good guy to know. So let me find that here.
John, does Jay do in Illinois? I don't remember. He's on occasionally. He was using his note taker here earlier in the meeting. But he does hard lending too, but I'm not sure if it's just in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Jay in a while. I don't know. Here's Rob's number. I'm going to give you, he's got two phone numbers that I'm going to give to you, and I'll put them in the chat too. The first one, the one off, he's with JM Real Estate Capital. And the first number he got is 1-844. It's We Close. Okay, that's the company number. It's 844-832-5673. So it's 844 We Close. And then I've got his cell phone number here for you also. And I think he'll take text, but I don't remember for sure. I always just talk to him. And that number is 917-362-0057. So it's 917-362-0057.
Okay, fantastic. I sure appreciate that.
Yeah, that'll get you in the ballpark. Yeah, Jay, yeah, he comes on sometimes and is here. I don't see him here today that Bruce was talking about. And let's see here.
Yeah, I sure while you're doing that, I certainly can appreciate Victoria offering her services on here. I worked for several architects up in the Chicago area, and I have grew enormous respect for interior designers and what they do, and that certainly affected my brain. And then when I started flipping houses, I had to add certain stuff in there. And Victoria, you can probably see this behind. This is my flip down here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I had to put 30-60 triangles and everything, because of all the influence of interior designers that I work with.
Yeah, I did see that. I was studying it. I'm obsessed with looking at floor plans. I could look at them all day long.
Oh, all right. Okay. So you're good. I'll just send this to you if you want to see it. But I gotta promote my own suite here. So this is a value added. This was a 3.1 and a half that I turned into a 4.3. And this master bedroom bathroom turned out so amazing. It's just like, I can't believe I did it. But one thing that I think is certainly good money, especially for what you do, is the $500 from Home Depot, the skylights that you can buy. It's just a simple circle in your roof, and it just puts light, and you can steer that light wherever. And I put it right over the sinks in that master bedroom bath. So it just makes the whole thing. In fact, I frosted the door so the light pours into to where the bed is in the master bedroom suite. So it really turned out great. Anyway, I'm done.
I think one thing that people are starting to realize is that design is really important when you're an investor, whether you're doing a flip or a rental or whatever, because you want to make yourself stand out, right? Like a lot of people were stuck in the gray phase where everything was gray. And I'm here to say, please
Or
stop
beige.
painting gray in
Or
your
beige.
houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And St. Louis is a little bit slower on the pickup with trends. But I think it's getting better because so many people have Instagram and Pinterest and watching HGTV. So I think it's slowly getting better. And obviously it's changing faster with the trends. But it is really important to pay attention to the details in the home and making things stand out. You know, for example, I had someone reach out to me and she was like, you know, I've got this fireplace and it's off center and it's got a pass through and it doesn't make sense. And when I come in, I'm saying, well, let's use that to our advantage. Let's make it a focal point. Let's make it something interesting that might not be in the next door neighbor's house, that a buyer will look at that and say, oh my gosh, that's really cool. I have to have this house. You know, and if you can design certain aspects in a house and kind of help the buyer ignore maybe other aspects that you weren't able to get to, maybe didn't fit in the budget or whatever, it can only help you. So, and that's what I love doing, is helping investors find these inexpensive upgrades that look expensive, but they're really not. And I'm really glad that people are starting to pay attention to that, because it really does make a difference. Even if it's just a rental, you can rent your property for more if you have a little bit more design detail in there and make it look more expensive. So
Yeah, and I absolutely believe that, and I can certainly support that because this simple renovation here, yeah, I spent probably a little bit of money because I hired the wrong contractor, but I had one group come and see it. They had to have it. They've been there for 6 years, and they really don't want to leave because they can't. My house is beating everything else in its range, right? It's a small 4.3, and they just have to have it because they can't get anything as nice. You know, so I certainly recommend, just simple, common sense designs for, something that's very different. It sets you apart than all the other competing places.
yeah, and I will say, and not to toot my own horn, but my last flip made a record for the neighborhood as far as price. So we set a new standard for the neighborhood, and I did not spend a lot of money on design. It's just, I've been doing this for 27 years, designing professionally. I started out in St. Louis as a kitchen and bath designer at Home Depot when I was 19. So, I've been doing it for a long time. I've designed hotels, restaurants, resorts, everything. And now I'm back into houses, and I think if you can pay attention to those little details, it makes the world of difference. So.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Victoria. You made a few good points, because I noticed I picked that up again from Sandra the other night, who talked at the main event there. She's a realtor as well as an investor. And some of those little things can make all the difference, because I know a lot of times us investors that are not designers and don't look at it from that standpoint, a lot of us look at it from numbers only. And some of that little stuff will make the difference in some of your bigger numbers too, though. So some of the little things, and some of us don't even think about that. But other people do. Who's buying this house? You got to look at the end result, which is kind of what we're kind of talking about there.
Absolutely. It's just I'll just give you a great example, is lighting. So lighting can drastically change the perceived value of a house. If you just go to Home Depot and get those I call them boob lights, because they're just like the round lights. A lot of investors are putting these in, and I guess that light costs maybe $30 or $40. You can find the same $30 or $40 fixture that looks expensive on Amazon, Wayfair, Home Depot, whatever. If you take the time to find something that looks a little bit more designed, it can drastically improve the perceived value, which for the buyer will make them think it's worth more. And Sandra was saying, and I'm actually talking with her as well, because she was asking me a lot of questions about some things with some of her properties. And, it's just those little details, and it doesn't cost a lot. But someone like me can come in and suggest those things to you, or even provide the design package for you where you don't even have to think about it. It's designed for you and it's done. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Vic-
that's ideal.
Vic-
I just think a lot of us overlook that kind of stuff, and I hope people are paying attention to what you guys were talking about there, because it can make all the difference in everything you do.
Just as an example of what Victoria was talking about was, I put one of those lights right above my fireplace here and shined it on there. My goal was to put a picture there, but this is how I rented the space, and they just love it. The hearth here of the fireplace curls around. I use these 30-60 triangles everywhere, and they can actually set their TV on the other side, so it makes a nice quaint TV room next to the fireplace. It helped me work out this awkward situation with where the location of the fireplace was. So what she's talking about is that light right there, eyeball light or or boob light or whatever you call it. They work so well, and really glad you brought that up.
Very nice. Is that yours, Ryan? That's your place?
Yeah, this is my rental down here in North Carolina. That I poured a lot of heart and soul into it, and I've got some other pictures too. I don't know if you want to see it, show them now, but I just had to mention that right there.
Is that a real fireplace?
It is, and yeah, it has no gas to it, so it's all logs, and it's kind of typical down here. I'm not sure why, but you'll see a lot of these old ranches. They've got very simple fireplaces. I actually had to reline the brick, very expensive bricks, if you guys know about that. But they can throw real wood in there. They typically don't, because no one likes to smoke that sometimes collects there. But yeah, it's a real fireplace.
How do your renters deal with the fireplace? I mean, are they pretty good about it, or do you have any issues with them, or?
I think they appreciate it, no issues at all. In fact, I should probably, I'm going to call and check my insurance here eventually and see how it's rated, with that fireplace. But I think they like it because it's an emergency situation, like say the power's out or something like that. They can heat the place. And these folks have young kids, so that's kind of the idea. Is that it's there for that. Let me see if I can pull up, just because I mentioned it early, John, if you have time, I can pull up another picture about what I was talking about before. So let's see if I can find my skylight situation where I put that skylight in. It really worked out well. I don't know if it's going to show it. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. Oh, here it is. I don't know if this picture shows it. This is my ridiculously, high-end, bathroom suite that I created. And right above the sinks is a skylight. I don't think the picture shows it. It's got the regular lights there, but it doesn't show the rest of it. So I went just a little on the crazy side, and I put my cabinets above the tiles there. It just makes everything look cleaner and everything nicer. Did my vessel sinks, all that kind of stuff. So a really tight space, putting a 4-3 in a formerly 3-2. But once they saw this, it's like they had to have it. They didn't want to leave. It competes, especially this house. John, is in a very good area. It's in the best schools. That also gives me leverage, to keep the tenants there longer. So there's lots of good reasons. This is just an adding to that same mechanism, right?
Now, is this one of them close to the military base that you were talking about?
Yes. So this is next to a main thoroughfare, straight up to the base, and the family that lives here are veterans. Obviously, it's available to active duty also, but it's worked out really, really well.
Very nice. Yeah, it sounds like you have a pretty good handle on what works in your area there. I really like that. And let's see, well, before I forget, I also put Jay Roman's phone number in there. Bruce mentioned him. He's a money broker here, and I'll go ahead and give you his number too. It's Jay Roman 314-513-1982. So you can jot his number down too, and run the scenario by him, what you're looking to do there, Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that number again? I'm sorry.
It's Jay's number is 314-513-1982.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I see your other picture. Yeah, thank you. Very nice. Yeah, lighting can make a big difference, that's for sure. Okay, anybody else got anything today?
Hey, John, I see Laura's gone. Is she out checking out that loft?
Don't give her any ideas. No, the garage door is still shut out there, so we're good. He's wondering if you're over there checking out the loft
Oh,
down there. Yeah. Yeah, don't give her any ideas there, Dave. No, I don't know, she's doing something with eggs. She's working on $1 million plan, I think. Okay, well, anybody else have anything they'd like to share with us today? We had some good conversations here, some good shares, couple things. Got that loft for sale if you can beat Laura down there. And we've got some good ideas for some design and lighting. That's I always like that. We'll see about that, Bruce, maybe about STLREIA, yeah, about getting our resource guide back together. I really thought that was a great idea, and I've got it started. It's just we didn't have enough response to really make it worthwhile. But I'll tell you what we can do too. Anybody that has any good or bad experience with any contractors, if you want to come here and just tell us about it, we can go ahead and compile that list and get it going and share that with each other. So if you're interested in doing that, just send me a note saying that or bring it up, and we'll be happy to do that, because I think it's a great list for all of us to have here that helps us all out. So. All right. Anybody else have anything today? If not, we will see you next week. Same time, same place. And if you need anything in the meantime, feel free to get in touch with me. We will get I will find out from Scott what's going on with the tax sale list, so we can get on there and we'll make sure everybody's confirmed, because that's something we definitely want to do. So thanks for bringing that up to us again, Renee, and I know David earlier. So there's Laura back from the loft.
Now you have to find out if she bought it or not.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I want to know. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye,
Thanks.
everyone.